Good afternoon, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I am your ever-loving host, Shorty. Yeah, a little bit later today than I planned on doing, but we had some people coming to the store today to take some photos and even a little video of your good self here, basically doing some promotional work for reopening our town centre, which is kind of cool that I'm involved in that one. And hopefully some people who don't know about us will see us and will become this famous comic book store. It'll be great. But since I am here, I was going to review The Joker, but we don't have a single spare copy in store, and I left mine at home, so I have to do that later. Instead, we're going to do Proctor Valley Road, which I really wanted to read anyway. It's Grant Morrison's latest, and as much as I generally look forward to Grant Morrison, I'm a little bit burnt out, if I'm honest. His latest Green Lantern stuff has been a slog to the point I've not read in the last 6 issues. Now they're all out, I'm going to sit and read them all in one go and hopefully just get through them. I think for some weird reason, when he goes full Grant Morrison these days, I have slightly less time for him than I used to, which is weird because I've thoroughly been enjoying True Lies of Fabulous Killjoys, which is very Grant Morrison-esque. I don't know, maybe it's just too much of him. But I still really wanted to read Proctor Valley Road because the concept of it kind of grabbed my attention. 70s set, rural America, kind of urban legend ghost stories, and looking at the artwork I've seen online, it looked very, very cool, very down to earth, a little bit basic. I like that kind of style, and also a little bit of a kind of a Midwest American West kind of feel to it as well, which is something else I really, really enjoy. So I thought, yeah, you know what, let's give this bad boy a go. Let's see what plays out from it. And as much as I did enjoy it, there is a couple of issues with it. And it's one of them which I found really kind of odd for a Grant Morrison produced comic book, because him and his artist tend to work really quite well together, messing around with page layouts and doing interesting things. And as much as sometimes they can be confusing, there's usually a sense of order around them. And if you read comic books long enough, you kind of get a sense, like a natural sense of where your eye should be taken to next. The page layout drags your attention through it. Homesick Pilots did it brilliantly, where they had a starting point here and a starting point here, and the story wound up and met in the middle. And that was brilliant, because the first time you read it, you got to that middle point and carried on, realizing it wasn't quite right, and then instantly it's like, click, okay, this is what they're doing. Brilliant idea. This one, I was going to try and find the page, but it's not worth seeing it. It's a simple one. It is literally, there's a conversation happening in a panel, then you jump down to the next panel, and if you read it from left to right, there's no reason why you wouldn't. It's very traditional page layouts. Everything is exactly expected to. It sounds like somebody's just seeing the future. Like, oh, if you're going to beat me up, this is what's going to happen. And then you read further on, and that's them threatening to beat him up. And it never happened in the previous panel. It just struck me as just a very odd way of doing things. And it's frustrating, because the rest of the comic book I loved. There's some absolutely brilliant writing in the rest of it. There's a rather wonderful bit of two of the main characters responding to an insult from hollered at them from a car, which I'd like to share with you, but it involves profanity. And as much as I do specify this is not a kid-friendly channel, I do also try to limit swearing too much, just in case people do watch these things who are a bit sensitive to that kind of thing. It's just me trying to be nice, that's all. But it is an absolutely brilliant bit of Grant Morrison writing. Like, genuinely had me in stitches. I took a snapshot of it and shared it with some of my friends because I liked it that much. And it's been a while since I could say that about Grant Morrison. I think probably because he didn't do a Klaus this year. Damn you, Grant. Because that's usually the things of theirs that I much prefer. It just occurred to me, by the way, I've probably misgendered Morrison a couple of times. I think it's still a little bit in the back of my head because I've been so used to who they have been in the past. I do apologize. I mean no offense by it. Grant Morrison is they and them. Imagine if you're listening to this, that's what I've been saying throughout, and all I can do is apologize, just being forgetful. I'll try my best in the future, promise. But since we're talking about that comic book, let's talk about the art as well. I say it's kind of lo-fi and grungy, but I like that. It's almost cartoony, or at least it's basically taking aspects of characters and blowing them up a little bit. But it also means that each person has their own unique features. It's not just a bunch of similar body types with different faces on them, which is something that happens a bit more often in regular comic books. Well, I say regular, I mean mainstream kind of comic books. People are like deliberately done at different sizes and builds, and it gets mentioned upon it, like it's part of the story that some of these characters are not the same as everyone else. And you also have different ethnicities, maybe even sexualities, and all of it kind of works without it feeling like it's a stress or a strain. Everything just plays naturally, which is really, really good fun. The story is brilliant as well. And I would love to tell you a little bit about the story. We're drastically running out of time. So I will tell you is there's a great bit in there where they are talking about these fake ghost stories. And then later on, you get a reveal that one of them actually is 100% accurate. And the art for that one and the way it's revealed through somebody telling a ghost story, including a nice little bit about them having quite an unusual voice, which she doesn't seem to realize. And he's like, what do you mean my voice is weird? All it plays really nicely is when you see it, even though it's been hinted at very, very strongly, it's still a wonderful moment, like a single page splash of, oh my God, that looks fantastic. I don't want to show you because I think it's something that's best discovered when you actually get to that page of the comic book yourself. But everything about it, apart from that one weird panel which doesn't read correct, is absolutely brilliant. Grant Morrison doing what I really like him doing. He's putting his own unique spin on things and telling a story in his way, but it doesn't feel like he's going out of his way to make it like incomprehensible. He's not going out of his way to challenge. He's just letting you enjoy the story, which is what he does on Klaus, and I really like him for doing that. Them for doing that. Sorry, I promise I'm not doing it on purpose. This video is going to be weird to watch back. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'm going to do a couple more tomorrow, at least a Joker, because I do have a copy of that at home. And I've still got Non-Stop Spider-Man and maybe a couple other things to go through. It's been a big week. Until then, though, stay safe, take it easy. Bye.